but he was an amazing man. He started out with his father. They built concrete grain elevators throughout the Midwest. And that caused him to, every town that they arrived in, he had to hire the people that were available. And the people that were available might have just gotten out of jail or have mental issues or whatever. And so that's where he started with understanding the importance of finding the uniqueness in each of us, the hidden value that all of us have. And if any of you have looked at Norman Jean, which was his last creation, Norman Jean is all about inclusiveness. Norman Jean was a transgender, a trans person that lived in downtown Toledo, who dressed up like Marilyn Monroe, and John Casey wanted to make a whole series of people that were proud of their uniqueness. So that's what Norman Jean is all about. Norman Jean is about celebrating uniqueness. But he also wanted to make a statement about the difference between art and craft. And so with Norman Jean is not only a piece of art. Norman Jean is about craft, because her chest opens, his chest opens, their chest opens. You have to get, I'm sorry, I'm from a different generation, so I'm trying to learn the proper things that I'm supposed to say. And I don't know how you say, okay. So that's about Norman Jean and how he came to be the man that he was. So in the beginning, he started out as a professor of philosophy, but then he had the love of woodworking. And so he went into his own woodworking business for 17 years. And that's where I met him. And he was working as a night watchman at minimum wage, carving Norman Jean, which was like, oh my God. And so I got him into the University of Toledo, and all the students loved him, and he went back to teaching philosophy. And as that year passed, he saw the ad for Warren Wilson College, and Warren Wilson College wanted somebody that could teach art, that could teach philosophy, that could teach business ethics. He had all of those skills, and so Warren Wilson was really where he belonged. He felt that we both belonged here, because Warren Wilson is about inclusiveness. Norman Jean is about accepting everybody for their uniqueness, and we all have that hidden value within us. And so that is what Norman Jean is about, but that's also what Warren Wilson College is about. And I'm so glad to see Warren Wilson students here supporting, because the fact of the matter is that John Casey became a legend. Besides his woodworking, he could no longer do woodworking after Norman Jean because he got a disease in his hands that would not allow him to do that anymore. And that's when he had to go back to teaching philosophy. So anyway, then when he came to Warren Wilson, he was teaching philosophy, which included Taoism. And I don't know how much you know about Taoism. I surely don't know very much about it, but I know that it is also about the fact that we are all one at some level. And that is what he was trying to do that as he started to run naked in the woods at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm sure he's the only professor at Warren Wilson that did that, but I want to read to you his last words that sort of explain. I hope I can find it. So here's what his last words were to the community, trying to explain why he ran naked. You cannot know the Tao, but you can be it. When you run clothed in the rain, you feel the wet, but naked, you are the wet. Naked in the wind, you are the wind. I don't suggest that you run naked, but I do hope that you fully experience those occasions when, while painting, you become the painting. When you play music, that you become the music. And these can provide glimpses of being without separation. So when it is your time, you can just be. And so John Casey, when he lay dying, and it was a very sad scene, as you can imagine, but he wanted the students to understand that living a full life isn't just about happiness, it is about sadness. And so he wanted the students to come in and hold his hands as he lay dying. And that was his gift that he gave to everybody. And so I'm going to end now with a very short song that I know that he would want me to sing, if I can, because he was my greatest supporter. And the reason that the students loved him so much was because he loved his students. And they all could feel that. And I could feel that when they came to our house. He had me open the door as he lay dying, and the students lined up out in the road, and then came in and held his hand, even though it was not a pleasant scene. But he wanted them to experience that part of life. John Casey was a man who ran naked through the woods, a legend like no other one. Imagine if you could. He ran naked with the wind and became one with the wind. He ran naked with the snow, becoming one with the snow. Because there is no separation. No, there really is not one. There is no separation. Yes, we really are all one. It is as it is. Yes, it is as it is. We are